Welcome along to episode 881 of the Milk Bar. Jason Forrest here with you as ever. Coming up on the show this week, Sandra Marvin is along to let us know what it's like being Becky in Waitress at the Grand. Pat Boshell will be joining us. He'll be letting us know all about the world of the breakup song. He's a music producer and he's going to be working with some people to turn their heartbreak into potentially top 10 hits with the help of Viagogo. Kayode Damali will be along. He is, of course, from the 2018 series of The Apprentice, and he's been hanging out in the world of celebrity to this day. Jenny Wilkes joins us to talk about the Wolves women promotion. They've done excellent things and going into the world of professional football. Emma Grace of Chirpy lets us know how we can help our mental health with the help of nutrition. Plus, cruising to the end of the earth, Captain Craig Street joining us, let us know about the TV show and what's going on in his world on board ship. That's all on the way on the show this week.
Welcome to the Milk Bar. 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 Welcome to the Milk Bar.
Now, when it comes to the world of music, our emotions play a huge part in the absolute best songs that people know and love. Your breakups could be worth billions. To tell us more, I'm joined now by Patch Boshell. Good afternoon. How you doing?
I'm very well. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Now, you're a music producer. You're behind some absolutely massive hits and also people shedding tears, having joy, and just generally being part of their lives. And that's quite a privilege, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I think my job is the best job in the world. So hopefully I can keep doing it until I don't retire.
Yes, it's one of those things you can continue till the very end. But I mean, when it comes to it, I mean, the perfect breakup song. I mean, why would you be jumping out of this? Because it is something which is essential for people, isn't it? And music will play a big part of any emotional change.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, music is of course, therapy. And there was some research done recently by Viagogo, and they found something really interesting, which was almost half of us actually think we have the material from past relationships to fill the lyrics of a song, as a form of therapy. And we've actually come up with the idea to, you know, give people the chance to actually make that a reality, which should be
Okay,
good.
so they can actually use. Possibly by disguising some of the names, but they can certainly
Yeah,
take the emotions from these breakups and turn them into hits.
that is absolutely correct. Yeah, no diss tracks, but we are launching the Heartbreak Sessions, and it's a really quite cool, exciting opportunity for anybody. It doesn't have to be, musically um, gifted or anything to share a breakup story. It could be sad, it could be, angry, it could be a hilarious breakup story, and the opportunity to get that into a fully produced song with myself and a team of writers and singers. And then the really exciting part is you can book a slot to come into a professional London studio and you can help us finish it. So if you fancy yourself a little bit of a singer, you could sing some backing vocals on it. You could play the tambourine. If you were dumped on a bus, we can have a subtle horn sound or, the sound of traffic or something like that.
You could be in
Uh,
charge of that. That sounds good.
Done.
Oh, but the perfect breakup song apparently it lasts exactly 3 minutes and 2 seconds. Those two all important seconds are they the fade at the end?
I think I think it might be. 3 minutes and 2 seconds seems to be the ideal length where somebody is done crying or done dancing or done screaming. It's just a perfect amount of time for them to get, what they need from the song.
And it is female artists that top the heartbreak charts, isn't it? And 32% of women make the best breakup songs apparently.
I mean, supposedly, I think artists like, Lily Allen or Adele, Taylor Swift, I think they write very openly and conversationally, and I do think audiences, connect with that honesty.
And in the top 10 that newly single Brits have been listening to in 2026, Lewis Capaldi appears twice.
He does.
And Before You Go and Someone You Loved. And his heartache is the nation's heartache, it seems.
It's true. I mean, I can, whenever I listen to Lewis Capaldi sing, I feel it because his delivery is just so personal and so believable.
But when you've got something like the wonderful Gloria Gaynor and I Will Survive, I mean, that is sort of post breakup reinventing yourself music, isn't it?
Absolutely. You know, and same with Lily Allen's track with the very
Expletives in
unradio
it,
friendly
yes.
name. You know, those songs are for a different type of processing your emotion. And it's, yeah, I want to get up and I want to vibe out and I want to dance. And that's how I'm going to process the breakup and the heartache.
Have you ever capitalized on one of your own breakups, or can people just not leave you?
I mean, the only story of heartbreak that I have, and that I haven't turned into a song, but hey, maybe I'll put it on this album. My current girlfriend's favorite pub is a place called the Hawley Arms in Camden,
Mm.
and it's her favorite pub, and we go there all the time. But I once upon a time was dumped in the Hawley Arms. Maybe I'll write a song about it.
You never know. From that loss to the love that you have now, which is going to last forever, just like your producing career, is the way it's going to be. But so people have got some great material, good, bad, funny, just something which they think will tug on the heartstrings of others. You can maybe even play it with the world's smallest violin or the largest orchestra you need, whichever way it's going to work. So, what do they do to get involved in this from Viagogo?
So yeah, keep on the Viagogo socials on the 25th of May, and that should point you in the right direction. And then there are some June dates: 20th, 21st, 27th, where you can book slots to come to the London studio.
And you could be part of it. You'll certainly be part of it. You'll be helping people to express. We have things like bubble wrap around as well, or maybe the odd glass of prosecco to try and soothe any emotions.
Wine and tissues.
Okay, so it sounds like a lot of people Saturday nights, but there we go. So do make sure you're part of that. If you have that story you want to sort of share and help express, and maybe become a number one selling song in the in that work, Viagogo is the place to be. Look out for the socials. Patch, where can we find you as well?
Yeah, Instagram, Patch Boshell. Give me a follow and yeah, keep up with what I'm doing.
And see how his love life's going and how many more pints he downs in that pub in London. Pat, great to speak to you. Thanks for joining us and
Cheers,
keep up the
mate.
good work helping people express themselves.
Thank you, mate. Take care.
Waitress is back at Wolverhampton's Grand Theatre from the 1st through to the 6th of June. Helping to serve up a delight of a show is Sandra Marvin, who joins me now. Hello.
Hello, hi. Thanks for
How,
having me, Jason.
well, good to talk to you and good to see you coming back to the Grand because I mean you're a regular visitor in all sorts of different guises.
Oh, yeah, I do love this theatre as well. We have a great time, and the audiences there are amazing. They're so exciting and so much fun. They really get behind the storyline. So, yeah, great.
It does help when you bring in an absolutely awesome show, and
Ah,
Waitress is just one of those feel-good pieces of theatre that's got so many layers, so many characters, and such a witty and enjoyable script, and it must be a joy to perform.
yeah, it really is. I mean, this will be my third time in the show now because I was in it in the West End for a limited period of time. Then we came back with it straight after lockdown, and here we are again, back again. What did they say? You can't deny the pie. I mean, I'm back again. It's such a lovely story, and it's so relatable in so many ways. You know, when you see the audience that it appeals to as well, you know, it covers so many different stories on relationships, on, you know, community. It's so much about community and hope and the resilience that no matter what your situation is, you can get through it. You know, trust in your community and your friends and your family of friends as well.
Mhm. And when you've got absolute legends of stage and screen bringing this story to
Absolutely.
life, I mean, yourself, the likes of Carrie Hope Fletcher, Les Dennis, I mean, this is just
Yeah.
a lineup of true stars.
Oh, thank you. I mean, yeah, the cast is it's a stonking cast this time. I'm not gonna lie. And Carrie is an absolute revelation. She's so beautiful in the role, being a mother as well, playing the role. You can see, you know, her connection you know, telling the story without giving too much away. It does, it is to do with motherhood to an extent as well. But yeah, it's, Yeah, brilliant cast, and it's great being back with Les again as well.
Hmm.
Because obviously I did Hairspray with Les, and we were chatting the other day because I think we were actually there together on the tour. We were there with it was me, Les, and Brian Connolly
Hmm.
playing Edna. So yeah, and we are just like remembering some good times that we had at the theatre.
I remember that
So
being a
it's great to be
particularly
with
good
him.
show as well. So that, yeah,
Yeah.
but we're used to that, and I think we're spoiled with everything that you bring to the stage. And I mean, in all the
No.
areas that you've worked, whether we've seen you in the like Emmerdale and TV, all the other bits and pieces, it must be tricky, jumping between all of these projects. It's an interesting life that you lead.
Yeah, it is. If I'm honest, it is quite an interesting one, and she's getting older now. I'm so grateful of it, though. Of it, I'm so grateful for the experiences, the learning, and the people that I've met along the way. You know, doing Kate Bush, for example, singing back up to Kate Bush, that period of time. You know, just memories that I'll never forget. Never
And
forget.
but they are, it's pretty much endless. I mean, there's radio work, there's TV work, as you say, there's
Yeah.
the recording artists that you work with, and of course, albums. Understandably, in your own right, that voice has to be put to good use.
Yeah, yeah. I keep myself busy.
So, what is it that stands out though when you come to somewhere like the Grand? Because are you one of those? Are you a home bird who misses home when you're away, or are you, basically enjoying your time with your theatre family and reminding the ones back home with a call that you still love them really?
I'm very much a home bird. I'm very much a home bird. Yeah, I really am a home bird. But what I do like about theatres like the Grand is that there's such a sense of community that when you go back there, you feel like you're returning to a family environment, and everyone's like, "Hi, hi," and we're all catching up with each other. So yeah, there's a real sense of community at the Grand, which I just love.
Uh,
So it stops it from feeling so impersonal,
But I mean, the fact
impersonal.
you got Sandra Marvin in the building is more than enough to put a smile on somebody's face.
Jason, you flatter me.
Everybody loves you. That's how it is. We
Oh, thank
expect,
you.
just the glory of having you there is going to be good.
Oh,
And Waitress itself is a show loved by many hundreds of thousands of people on every single
yeah.
tour. And you must be getting people who you recognise in the audience. They come to see it so often.
Absolutely, yeah. People come to stage door and they're like, "Yeah, I came." Actually, with me, it's like, "Yeah, I came to see Waitress last time, but we saw you in Aunt Julia and Sister Act as well." So it's really cute, and you recognise them. And there's a few times where people have said, "Oh, I'm thinking of going into theatre. Have you got advice?" And then now they've come back and they've started their studying for was it at theatre school, so they keep you up to date with how they're getting on. It's really quite cute. It's really, really cute, and again, it's just another sense of community. It's nice as well because the standard of touring shows is so impeccable. You know, the variety and the quality of like the staging and the I know what I want to say, but I can't say, and the casts that are out on tour at the moment. It's great to be able to bring that to the regions as well as to the West End theatre.
Oh, it's going to be glorious having you at the Grand. As I said, the
Oh,
dates are the 1st through to the 6th of June. It will be an absolute treat. Now is the time to get your tickets, to get the best seats in the house to see Sandra Marvin and the rest of the gang do their
yeah.
thing with Waitresses. You'll feel life affirmed by the end of the show. I think that's almost a guarantee, almost as much as a guarantee as you'll want pie by the end of the show too. Grandtheatre.co.uk to get your tickets, or 01902429212 is the box office number. Sandra, are you lurking around on the socials, sharing clips as you go along too?
Yes, absolutely. Sandra Marvin UK on Instagram. There's always a little snippet backstage going on. So yeah,
Well, Sandra, lovely to speak to you. Looking forward to
and
seeing you at
you.
the Grand, and very much going to enjoy the Waitress once it returns to the theatre.
Oh, thank you, Jason.
Now, what we watch on screen is shaping where we go on holiday more than ever before. Somebody who spent 35 years at sea is Captain Craig Street. How are you doing, sir?
I'm great, thanks, Jason. It's great to be on with you this afternoon.
Well, good to talk to you. I feel I should be saluting in some way at all. What's the correct etiquette here?
Well, none of that. We're very informal that way. I'm actually at home in Scotland at the moment, so I'm rejoining the Sun Princess, going back to the ship in just over 2 weeks. So I'm currently home in, I would say, sunny Scotland, but we know how the spring weather's been treating us. So
Yep,
yeah,
that's
in
Scotland
between
for
rain
you.
showers, trying to get absolutely. Yeah.
Beautiful countryside, but it needs watering quite regularly. But there we go.
Well, it does. We certainly get lots of that at the moment.
And then nearly half of us fear they'll never tick off their bucket list when it comes to travel. And this is despite dreaming bigger and better than ever before and wanting to see the world. You've seen most of the world already, haven't you?
Yeah, I'm very fortunate. And as you say, I've been at sea with Princess Cruises 35 years now, Jason. I started all those years ago, back in 1990, as a young cadet. And, I thought I'd do 3 years. I did have a place to go to Edinburgh University, and I turned that down and decided to go to sea. And I thought, well, after 3 years of doing my cadetship, once I'm qualified, I'll go back to university. But here we are, 35 years later, I'm still at sea. So it's been a great career for me. I've been very fortunate. I've traveled all over the world. I've seen various different sites and seen a huge change as well in the cruising industry in all the time I've been at sea.
It certainly has become, which is more accessible, more people wanting to be part of it, and it is about that experience. And I think it's having that mobile hotel which really makes a difference to people, particularly some of the amazing destinations you stop off along the way.
Well, absolutely, and certainly, as I say to you, I've seen a huge change. The age group of people traveling nowadays is coming down. There's been a real uptick recently in the millennials coming away to sea with us and cruising. So that's certainly been noticeable. But I would recommend cruising to anyone. Of course, I'm a little bit biased, but it is a great way to see different ports of call. We go to some fantastic places, truly spectacular sights as we sail in and out. Some great shore excursions available when we do get to these wonderful places. And really, the ship itself, I think, is a destination in its own right. Going from A to B and enjoying these beautiful ships that we have, as well as the great ports of call.
Absolutely. And it's about the entertainment on board ship too. And the sort of vessels that you're looking at traveling on here have theatres and all sorts on them, don't they?
Yeah, we've got a huge variety of entertainment, and really we pride ourselves on that. We've got great show lounges, wonderful entertainment teams that come on board. We have a resident team as well for activities during the day, and then also the great production shows during the evening. And so on. And then also wonderful food. We've got some fantastic restaurants as well for people to enjoy.
And I mean, they even get a taste of this by seeing it on TV as well at the moment.
Yes, that's great. It's been a real privilege to be part of the series Cruising to the Ends of the Earth, and it's exciting making it, but also it's now exciting watching it as well. The first couple of episodes have already been on. I've had a small part in the first one. I think I'm coming up a little bit later, perhaps, but it was great to see some of the ships I've also been in command featured. The Royal Princess recently, coming up as well, the Discovery Princess. I was master on her as well as the Sun Princess, the one I'm currently on. But great to see, I've grown up with a lot of the people involved in the series as well. It's been interesting to watch them, as well as the wonderful scenery and the ports of call the ships go to.
And it is, representing the hard work that goes into making these cruises so important. Every job, I'm going to say, every job is as important as the captain's job in making sure that guest experience is right. You just got different levels of responsibility to make it all happen.
Well, absolutely. And, running the ships nowadays is really all about communication. We do have a wonderful crew, very experienced. Sun Princess that I'm currently on, biggest one in our fleet. First of our Sphere class, we've now been joined by our sister ship, the Star Princess, but 1,550 crew on board, coming from over 60 different countries and nationalities. So it's very much, you need to rely on other people, you need to rely on your team and great communication, to offer the services that we do to our guests and which they enjoy.
And they depart. Probably has changed people having experienced such an amazing sort of life-altering perception of the world. And I think having done river cruises and just to travel on ferries, I haven't gone anywhere near with the sort of life-affirming experience of being out on open water.
Well, absolutely. And as I say, I've been worldwide. I've done many seasons up in Alaska, and people, going to Alaska so many times. I've done 20 seasons, or more than 20 seasons in Alaska. And people say to me, does it not become a bit jaded or, boring after a while? And absolutely not. the scenery up there is spectacular. The wildlife, there's always something different to see, and it never fails, to impress. And the wonderful vistas, the glaciers, the wonderful ports of call that we go to up there. But I've also done Asia, Australasia, the Mediterranean. I'm currently in with the ship, and between the Caribbean and the Mediterranean. But really, I've even been to Antarctica as well. So I've been extremely fortunate, in all the wonderful places I've been able to see.
Absolutely. And what else should we know when it comes to sailing in this way? Because it's an experience which is open to many more people. They've all picked up on what an amazing experience it is. So, what are those things that make it truly bucket list?
Well, truly the ships that we're on nowadays, there truly is something for everyone. And I think in days gone by, there was a perception that perhaps cruising was for the more older generation. And that's certainly not true anymore. We're seeing more and more families coming on board. So we have a wide range of, facilities on board the ship, activities, for everyone of any age group. There's always something to do. In fact, quite often people find there's too much to do. We have a daily newspaper on the ship called the Princess Patter, and that outlines in it, everything that's going on during the day. And quite often guests will stop me and say, Captain, there's not enough time in the day. There's always something else going on at the same time. There's so many things to do. So you can either take part in those events, or you can sit by, you can, take in the scenery, read a book as we're doing so, or whatever. But really, there is something for everyone.
So you certainly will be spoiled for choice. Where can we go for more information on Princess Cruises and, of course, the TV series, so people can see a little of it themselves before they give it a try?
Well, we certainly have princess.com is our main website. So people can go onto that, tells you a bit more about the lovely ships that we have, currently 17 in the Princess fleet. And also, it gives you a good rundown of all the various itineraries and the ports that we go to as well. The series is currently being aired every Sunday night on Channel 4 at 8 o'clock each evening. There's another 6 episodes to go, which we're very excited to see. And I believe it's also available on Catch Up as well. So if people have missed an episode, they can always go on to Channel 4, I believe, and run it back again.
That's where I have started watching the series already, so I'm enjoying it there. Captain Craig Street, thank you for joining us, and may you have many more happy years captaining on the open oceans.
Well, thanks very much, Jason, and I hope your listeners will certainly go on and view the programme, and we look forward to welcoming them on board one of our Princess ships in the future, hopefully.
Now, when it comes to seeing your face on a billboard, somebody who could probably do that is Kayode Damali, who is one of, I think, the most popular Apprentice contestants ever. Certainly one of the most memorable candidates. And he's somebody who's been recognised in the top 10 of the most powerful young entrepreneurs in the world. He joins me now for a bit of a natter. How are you doing, sir?
I'm great, Jason. Thank you for that lovely intro.
Well, it's good to talk to you and good to have you along. Because, I mean, your world, since The Apprentice, has sort of crossed over into the world of celebrity in a way which you probably weren't expecting.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, considering the fact that I was on The Apprentice in 2018, the fact that I'm still known for that is crazy. I definitely didn't foresee that happening almost 8 years later, still being known as that guy from The Apprentice.
It obviously has its advantages, but equally, it only covers part of the story, because The Apprentice is one of the stranger reality shows to be part of, because you know why you're there. You're there to either work with or get funding from Sir Alan, and there's almost a package deal that comes out of it. Dragon's Den has its own kind of setup, but The Apprentice is very special, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. I think going on to it, I definitely thought that, right, I need to come here to win the £250,000. If I'm going to say £250, that's definitely underselling it, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
£250,000 investment. So I think it's very clear what people go in there for. And yeah, compared to other reality TV shows, it can be quite different. I know a lot of people try to compare it to Love Island sometimes when a lineup comes up. But I don't know, looking at me, Jason, can I fit Love Island? Who knows? Do you know what I mean? But it's definitely not that kind of show.
It depends whether you want to be in your Speedos on television or not, doesn't it, really? You've got to be careful what you choose. You're more your sharp suits, nicely dressed, going out there and impressing people, not only with what you say, but what you do too.
Exactly. I think Speedos for me, I'm not in one of those. Unless you're on the way with me, Jason, I don't have the confidence without it.
I think, yeah, I'd struggle as well. Speedos, not my thing. But there we go. But I mean, you have been doing all sorts of stuff. And where are you in the world of business these days? What are you doing as an entrepreneur?
So in terms of business myself, so I run a lot of community events in here in Lewisham, where I'm based in South London. And of course, a lot of people do know me as being a professional speaker and presenter. So I speak at a lot of award shows, conferences, and events, hosting them, for example, as well as going into corporates, helping them with their teams, such as their entry level staff, to help them with their confidence and to be more proactive in the workplace.
But I mean, you were working as a director at the NUS before you started into the world of television and celebrity.
Yes, I was elected. I was very grateful to have been elected a director of the NUS. I was like 21 years old. Was that? Yeah, I was like 21 years old. And for me, that was a big deal because the NUS is a massive organization representing more than 7 million students across the UK and some even around the world. And of course, this has a budget of into the millions. And being at a young age of 21, being a director there was definitely great experiences. And they also put me forward to being on the nominations committee as well. So I was grateful for that experience too.
Have you developed any celebrity friends since everything you've been doing? Because you're pretty grounded, really, aren't you? I think that's the thing. You're more about being you than you are about hanging out with stars.
Yeah, I think I've been there. Like I've been there, done that. My niece gets very starstruck when I send her some of the pictures of people I've been in. Well, I send her some of the pictures of who I've met. Like she would say, "There's Angry Ginger on TV." I'm like, "Yeah, I played football with him. I was on the same football as him." Or she says, "Oh, Chunks." Or I've met most people. Do you get what I mean? I've met most people. I'm grateful to say I've met most people. Who people would want to meet.
And do you still keep in touch with the likes of Sir Alan? Because once the series ends, I suppose that Lord Sugar does his, he does have to move on and stick with a small group of people.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I'll be very honest. I haven't spoken to Lord Sugar since. I've spoken with Claude. Like me and Claude got on very well. Like over the Christmas period, me and Claude were exchanging emails. So I've spoken to Claude more recently than I have Lord Sugar because, like you said, every year there's a new set of cohorts, as well as him doing his own business in his life. So I mean, if the opportunity does arise, I'd love to speak to Lord Sugar again, but I haven't spoken to him since I was on the show.
But what do you think you would do next if there's another opportunity come along for a show like that? Because so you went in seriously about the business, but you get to have a bit of fun when you do these things. So we've ruled out Love Island, but I mean, would Big Brother, a bit of celebrity edition of that work for you, or maybe would you even fancy going on something like The Traitors, whether it be the celeb or
Oh,
standard edition? Would that be your thing?
yeah, for me, I love the traitors from a psychological standpoint. I just love the whole Machiavelli, the whole, I don't know, I really enjoyed like the psychology behind traitors. Big
Mhm.
Brother as well, I think that'll be a good laugh. Like I'm open to most things. You got me? I'm open to these things, especially for the experience. I'll say definitely for the experience.
Who knows what could happen next? But when it comes to future business plans as well, obviously you've got the community interest companies and the like that you're working on at the moment. Have you got still within you, you think, a big business idea that could change the world?
Yeah, I definitely have ideas which I want to do, which can scale globally. Right now, I think my focus is on things within Lewisham, so more locally.
Hmm.
But I do have business ideas that I would love to take globally to scale because you know what it is, Jason. You have so much ambition, so much goals in life, but there's only a finite number of years to squeeze them all into. So right now, the focus is local in Lewisham, but I definitely at some point in my life, I don't know when it will be, 40, 50, 60, 70s. I'd love to have that £1 million exit. Do you get what I mean? Well, multi-million pound exit, I should say.
Who knows what could happen? Yeah, by the time we get there, multi-million, it'll be multi-billion that we'll be aiming for
Oh yeah,
then.
inflation, right?
And there's a lot of it about, but there we go. And when it comes down to your friends and that private life side of things, do they still treat you the same? Because I mean, you are still you, aren't you? Even though you've been through an unusual experience and one that so few people actually go through.
I would say your friends definitely, if anything, it's strangers and people you don't know who hype you up more. So your friends just see you as oh that guy. It's like I remember one time I took my brother, this is like in 2019 times, I took him to one of the influencer events I went to, and he's starstruck. He's saying, "Oh my gosh, there's this guy, there's that guy." And it's crazy, Jason. Some of the guys he was getting starstruck over will be starstruck over me. So I was saying to my brother, look, why don't you be starstruck over me? The people you're getting starstruck over are being starstruck over me. So your close people around you, they just see you as you are, to be honest. Like think nothing of it.
And what other TV have you done? Was there a come dine with me thing as well?
Yeah, that was Come Down With Me was actually before The Apprentice. That
Yeah.
was before The Apprentice, yeah.
And what was it like being part of that? Because it must have given you excuse the pun, a taste for doing this sort of thing.
Yes, I definitely had a taste for TV through Come Down With Me simply because it showed me how producers work, how directors work, what it's like being on set. So when it came to The Apprentice, even though The Apprentice is a bigger show, sorry, come down with me, even though The Apprentice is a bigger show, it kind of gave me that little step ahead. So even before Come Down With Me, for example, I've seen a lot of filming with BBC around the elections in 2015 and the EU referendum in 2016. So each time I go on TV, it's just another little level up as to what it's actually like. So Come Down With Me definitely helped the experience on The Apprentice.
Well, we'll see what happens next. Good luck with all of your current future plans. Where can we find you online to keep track of the career?
You can find me on all of my social media handles, which is at Kayode Damali. So it's my full name, Kayode Damali, which is Damali. And I'm sure there's not many Coyotes. So if you type my name in, I'm usually wearing a gold suit, well, my black suit with a gold thing. You will see me on there.
You're a star. You're shining resplendent as the gold on your lapel and making sure that you have an impact wherever you go. Kayode Damali, thank you for joining us and look forward to hopefully speaking to you again soon.
Brilliant. Thank you, Jason, for having me.
A-level, GCSE and SAT season is upon us. The exams are underway. It must be the good weather bringing these things out. To tell us how we can try and keep chirpy and smiley during these things, I'm joined now by Chirpy co-founder and parent Emma Grace. Good afternoon.
Hi, lovely to see you today.
Good to talk to you. Now, when it comes to it, it is a stressful time for kids, and probably even we may remember the stress that we went through during exams and the like. But back in those days, you all you had taken off you was your calculator if you weren't allowed to use one. These days, you get your entire lifeline taken away for a couple of hours whilst you're trying to work out some of the hardest questions you've had put to you. This isn't an easy time.
It's definitely not. And I think zooming out, exams are part of the picture. But what our research shows is that modern life is already taking a toll on children's mood and resilience long before exam season starts, long before even that first exam paper is even opened. And that pressure is cumulative. So when you add exams to a generation that's already dealing with constant stress, and by that I mean constant screens, ultra-processed food, less time outdoors, social media comparison, AI, unsettling headlines, sitting exams can then really tip the balance.
And I think, it's difficult whatever happens. I was first year of GCSE, so we had the stress of not knowing what the exams were going to look like. And in fact, about the 2 days before our maths exam, my maths tutor went completely mad. She says, "They've sent us logbooks for the exam. You're going to have to explain to you how a logbook works." Now, that is something that just isn't going to happen these days. I doubt logbooks are even talked about in classrooms. But there is, however you look at it, it is a difficult time. And actually, getting your head together for this and making sure that you get the best you can out of something, which is it seems to be designed to get the worst out of you possible sometimes. It's not simple.
No, it's really not. And about 10 years ago with the exam reforms, there was a shift from a more kind of cumulative kind of testing philosophy to this kind of more high stakes system that we have today, which is really stressful for young people. At Chirpy, we talk about supporting the mental well-being of young minds during this period. So everything apart from the actual revision. So, making sure that your young person has time for some mindfulness, is doing some exercise, is spending time in nature, is eating a nourishing diet, is having enough sleep. If you get those foundations right, then they'll enter those exams in a much better frame of mind than if they are, constantly scrolling on their phone till 2 a.m. and getting 4 hours sleep, for example.
Yeah,
I think that's our role as parents at this point. It's just making sure those foundations are really there for them to do the best that they can. Yeah,
and the fact it is different in a different world from when the parents are growing up. Even if you're going back, it was 20 years ago they were doing the GCSEs. Then it is all change, even if it's only that far back.
Oh my gosh, 100%. I was laughing. I said to my mum the other day, "What did you most worry about when I was younger?" And she thought for a moment and she said, "Oh, I did start to worry a bit when you started driving." And I thought, wow, that's 17 years where you weren't worrying. Whereas, I'm a parent of a 15-year-old and a 10-year-old, and the things that I worry about every day, which is, social media, Snapchat notifications going off, body image, looks maxing, exam stress. What's AI going to do to their career? There's so many more things for parents to worry about now, and for kids to worry about too.
So what sort of things can we do? So you talked about Chirpy, so tell us a bit about what you do to hopefully help here.
Well, we've got a holistic approach to youth mental well-being. it starts with supplements. So we've developed a range of supplements that support the foundations of mental well-being in young children. So our supplements target healthy neurotransmitter function, oxidative stress, and inflammation in the body. And those things are off kilter at the moment because every Snapchat notification, every intense gaming session, every unsettling headline, that offsets a hit of cortisol and noradrenaline, and they're the stress hormones and neurotransmitters that put our body on high alert. So we almost need to. We're at a stage now in modern life where we need to support those foundations of mental well-being. So we have a supplement range, but also on our website with so much expert advice on how parents can help support their kids. There are free audio meditations, there are free yoga flows, lots of tools that parents can use to help support their young minds.
So it's about being there and understanding and doing your research to help them do their research and their revision.
Yeah, absolutely. And understanding that actually the foundations of mental well-being are biological. So if you can support the biology of mental well-being, everything else will follow.
Fingers crossed. And as long as you get a good, healthy attitude towards that revision, because there's nothing worse than turning up to an exam you've done nothing for.
I know, absolutely. And I think as well, parents are struggling with the revision techniques perhaps of young people today. You know, my son will revise via TikTok influencers. And as a parent, you can't get your head around the fact that actually that the phone is exactly the right tool to use a revision. But these kids are living in a different world, so parents do have to adapt accordingly as well.
I wrote all my revision on bits of cardboard and looked at them
Exactly.
regularly. It's a different. We didn't have the closest we got to a computer at the time was a Commodore 64, and I had a handheld device which was a monochrome screen display, which didn't teach me a thing. So
I know. Exactly. I think as parents, we have to stay curious. You know, I think the worst thing we can do is just say, put that phone down, stop doing that. You know, we have to stay curious. Are you learning something? What are you finding interesting about this technique? Is it going into your brain? You know, the more curious we can be as parents, the better.
Absolutely. Right. So once again, where to go for more information about the research that you've done, how that can be used, and of course, the range of supplements that your research is telling you can help to.
Our website is wearechirpy.com, and you can follow us on social media at Chirpy Mood Science.
Well, Emma Grace, Chirpy co-founder and parent, who's having a great time worrying about the forthcoming GCSEs over the next 12 months for you. Thank you for joining us.
Lovely. Thanks so much.
There's been success for Wolves women. Their chair, Jenny Wilkes, is here to tell me all about it. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you, Jason. How are you?
All good here. Good to catch up with you. It's been a long time since we had a natter, and it's been a little while since we've been able to talk about some Wolves success.
Yeah, absolutely. But the women have definitely been flying the flag for the club.
Absolutely. So give us the details for those who haven't picked up on the amazing news.
So on Sunday, Wolves women were promoted to WSL2, which is the second tier of women's football. And it's a professional league. So it means that for the first time in our 26-year history, we'll be playing professional football, and all of our players will be fully professional as from next season.
That is exciting. It's absolutely brilliant news. And I know you and the whole of the team and people who haven't been involved for decades and have now moved away have been a huge part of that. I mean, I remember when these things got going 26 years ago, and it's number one, it's a fight for recognition by the club and to become part of it. And then from there, it's just development after development, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. We've been working really hard behind the scenes over a long period of time to get Wolves women to where they are now. When it started in 1975, it was three women who met on Parks pitches to have a bit of a kickabout before they found there was a few people joined them. There was a league they could join. So their first league was in 75. And from there, they gradually approach Wolves, got Wolves to let them use the name, Wolves to give them a little bit of money. When I got involved in 1999, it was John Richards who asked me if I'd be interested in becoming chair, because they needed some more support to try and get some more sponsorship and money in, which I did, and I formed a limited company. We got some sponsorship. Rachel Hayhoe Flint was very involved then as well, and first of all, we got the youth teams taken over by the Community Trust, which is now the foundation, and then over a period of time, the senior teams as well. And I've been in the last, 5 seasons, is it, that the club, the women's section has been taken on board by the academy. So now we're a fully fledged part of Wolves, and the players are based at the academy, train at Compton. Just like the men do, use the same facilities. So, yeah, we've been gradually getting towards that. Our players now, we've got a bit of a hybrid model. So they're sort of, some of them are semi-pro. A lot of them still work full-time and dedicate a load of time, 3-4 nights a week and Sundays to the game. But from next season, we will be a whole team full of fully professional football players.
Which is brilliant, and it's so good to see that level of success. Obviously, there's going to be some changes and development around the team as part of that. That's normal at this time of year, and it hopefully we'll see familiar faces throughout who've earned this position in the first place.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it does mean there are going to be a lot of changes. Some of those players are really keen to become full-time professional players, but also quite a few of those players have really good jobs, day jobs, that they can't really afford to give up to start playing football full-time. So we're going to lose some really good players as well. It also gives us the opportunity to get new players in, different players, and obviously we're going to need to be at a whole different level to be playing in WSL2 and to compete with all the teams that are in that division. That's the division that Birmingham City have just got promoted out of into the top flight. But we're going to have to work really hard to compete at that level. So there's a lot of hard work for Macca and the coaching staff to do over the close season. Loads of hard work, lots of sorting out who's going to be playing for us, and all the rest of it, everything that's involved.
Absolutely.
Exciting times.
It is, and it's so great to see, and it's something that we can continue to enjoy and support. And you've got support there. There'll be matches that will take place at Molineux, take it throughout the season, as well as other venues too.
Yeah, I mean, we like playing at Molineux, but our home ground is Telford United, and we've really made it our home ground over the last 4 seasons, is it? We appreciate it's not in Wolverhampton, but it's a fantastic stadium. It's a really brilliant venue, and gradually over the course of the last couple of seasons, our attendances have been going up. And I think people love a winning team, don't they? And people will follow you when you're doing well. And over this season, we've done really well with attendances, and we're getting like averages of 600 and 700 now, whereas last season it was only in the 200 to 300. So it's really helping, and in that smaller stadium you get a fantastic atmosphere, and the fans are really good. They're really vocal. They were great at the playoff on Sunday, being really loud and singing and getting behind the players, and that's what we really like. So I'm hoping more people will come along to Telford and see Wolves Women playing in the second tier and get behind the women's team.
Fantastic. It'd be great to see. Where can we find you on all the socials?
So on X and Facebook, well, X is at Wolves Women. On Facebook, we're Wolves Women. You'll find us on Instagram, the same, Wolves Women. So all the usual. On TikTok, we're on TikTok. You'll find us everywhere. Just search Wolves Women and you'll find us. You'll find all the details about what's happening behind the scenes. You can see all our celebrations. We had some brilliant celebrations on Sunday after the game. There's some great songs in the dressing room, dances, you name it. The celebrations are going on a bit this week, and then it's back down to business, I think, definitely.
That's where the hard work starts, isn't it, next
week?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, absolutely.
Keep up the good work. Keep up looking after things down there at Wolves Women. Wolves.co.uk for the forthcoming fixtures. All the links on there. Jenny Wilkes, Chair of Wolves Women, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Jason. Up the Wolves.
That's it all for this week. Thank you so much for joining me back with episode 882 next week. I'll see you then. Ta-ra for now.
Goodbye from the milk bar. 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 Yeah. Goodbye from the milk bar. Yeah.